Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be reviewing a set. Instead of making a PTCG video, we're going to be reviewing the next set that's going to be coming out on November 4th. It's going to be called XY Breakthrough, and it's going to have a new mechanic called Break Evolution, which is this, and we also are getting some remake cards, like Heavy Ball Remake. We're getting Level Ball, or not Level Ball, Floatstone Remake. And we're getting some pretty cool full arts. We're getting Houndoom full art, Mega Houndoom full art, we're getting more Mewtwo EXs. We're getting Giovanni's plans. And then we're also getting a new secret rare, which I'll talk about why I don't like that in a minute. So it's an interesting set. It's coming out November 4th, and I thought it'd be time to review it. I am reviewing this on PokeBeach.com, so I will link their website in the description down below. Make sure you guys go to PokeBeach.com. They're a really cool website. They update you on a lot of the news in Pokemon. So go to their website. You go every day. They probably have something new to talk about, and they have forums and everything. So I'll link PokeBeach in the description below. Make sure you guys go check them out. And yeah, so let's get into this review. So we got Paris. Obviously, just nothing. Then we have Parasect. By the way, there is no images for these cards, just these cards. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's okay. Parasect has the attack Colorful Spore. Choose 3 of your Pokemon, search your deck for 3 different types of energies, and, well, basic energy, and attach one of them to each Pokemon you chose. Not the greatest attack. Maybe we could see some kind of cool idea come out of it, but other than that, it's nothing too fancy. Next, we have Chespin, then Quilladin, and then we have, obviously, Chestnut, and there's actually 2 of these. So we have the basic Chestnut, which has Horn-Piercing Lariat, which does 60, and if your opponent's active Pokemon already uses damage, it's going to do 120 damage. So this can combo well with Force of Giant Plants, and Fortress, and Crobats, and Golbats, and whatnot. So I could see Chestnut actually seeing some play here, especially the Break Evolution, which basically works as a level X Pokemon, if anyone remembers that. Chestnut Break retains the attacks, abilities, weakness, resistance, retreat cost of all of its previous evolutions. So you actually do get the Horn-Piercing Lariat with the Chestnut Break. So that's actually going to be really good because this thing has 190 HP, which is nuts. Tough Hammer, not really that good of an attack, but this attack right here is what will make this a pretty cool card. I don't know if the deck will be that competitive. There's a lot of stuff you can consider, Force Giant Plants and whatnot, but I don't know. And then we got Skidoo, nothing too special. And then you have Go-Go, Run Through, does 10 damage. This attack does 30 more damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And then we have Woodhorn, like I said, nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy going on there. And then we have the second EX, or the first EX of the set, Houndoom EX. So this card does kind of the similar thing to Bunnelby with Melthorn for 1 fire energy. It does discard the top 2 cards from your opponent's deck. So I don't know if that'll actually be good in a deck-out deck. I highly doubt it, since the top 2 cards isn't really that important. But we could see this seeing some kind of play. And then we have Grand Flame, which is not a bad attack. It does 50 for 2 fires. And then it says attach a fire energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So that's what makes this a pretty decent attack. I don't know. Maybe this could see play. We'll see what happens, though. Could be a nice little way to power up stuff like Camerupt or even Pyroar. Next, we have Mega Houndoom EX, which is pretty decent. For 2 fires, it does 80 damage. You may discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, it does 80 more damage. So you can do 160, which doesn't do that much damage, but, well, it does a lot still, but it doesn't, one-shot a lot of stuff. But that still could be a decent attack when you factor in Tool, Retriever, Bats, Muscle Bands. So this, I think, could see play, because also it works well with Blacksmith and a new card in this set, which we'll get into later. Pardon me. Next up we have Pansear and then Simisear. Simisear is pretty funny. Water Toss. Put 3 water energy cards from your discard pile into your hand, yet this is a fire type. Obviously, it's not a good attack. Handsling is pretty cool. It could actually work well, kind of like that Metagross does from Ancient Origins. So maybe this card could see it's not going to see play, but it could be a little funny card. Now, with a reprint card in the set, I don't think Simisear will see much play. Then we have Sea King here, which Sea King actually is kind of cool. For 1 water energy, it does 10, and then this attack does 80 more damage if this Pokemon was healed. So if you play Rough Seas, Potion, Max Potion, even though you'll see why Max Potion in a minute, but it's a pretty good attack, to be honest. It does 90 damage for 1 energy if you healed it. So I could actually see Sea King being a pretty cool card. I don't know how good it'll be, but it could be a pretty funny card. I don't think it's going to be too competitive, but it's pretty funny. Assault isn't that good. 40 for 1, does damage to yourself. Next we have Starmie, Deep Sea Swirl, some Straw Sport, even though it's a stage 1. Even Bond is pretty cool. So if you and your opponent have the same number of bench Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Because now we're both even sucker. What the heck? But it doesn't do any damage. It's a funny attack, but it obviously doesn't do any damage, so it's not really going to see any play. It's pretty cool, though, but unfortunately, it just doesn't do any damage, so it's pretty useless. Next, we have Remoraid, Iron Pool, discarding Stadium Play. Pretty dumb card. We got Piplup, Primplup, and then we have Empoleon, and thank God this is actually a pretty cool Empoleon. So its ability, Noble Power. As long as this Pokemon is in play, your basic Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage. So I can already see what this card's going to be bringing. It's going to be bringing either A, the Revival of Archie's Empoleon for Night March, because, then your Night March can do 20 more damage, which is pretty big. It can make Miltank Empoleon a very strong deck. So Empoleon actually has a pretty awesome ability. This card, I think, will see a good amount of play. Hydro Splash isn't a terrible attack, 2 for 70. Obviously, if you need a decent backup attacker, this could be okay, but the ability is what makes it awesome. Just think about like stuff with Regice and just, it's going to be crazy. It's not going to be insane, but it's going to be pretty cool. Next up, we have Obama Snow, and yes, I said that on purpose. Obama Snow, or Obama Snow, whatever you want to call it, does 80 damage. If your opponent's Pokemon is a N-type, I can't tell what type that is, but whatever an N-type is, if it's fire, dark, water, I don't know what the N-type is, grass, I don't know, but if they're that type, they're paralyzed, so this could actually be a funny little tech card to deal with those kind of types. It could be a cool deck, saying if whatever that type is like a huge threat in the format, Abomasnow could actually see some good play, so who knows. It's an interesting card. Next up, we have Magnemite, Magneton, and now we have Magnezone. Now, this card is basically the lightning version of Emboar and Blastoise. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a lightning energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So, that's a pretty good attack. Ability, sorry. So, obviously, it allows lightning types to have that synergy, so it could work with Ampharos, Mega Ampharos, Mega Manectric, I guess, even though it kind of works by itself. Stuff like, some other cards in the set that are, Raikou, which we'll talk about in just a sec. Any lightning type is going to work now. Maybe with the other Magnezone from maybe the Heart Gold days, even though it's rotated, it could be a cool idea for Unlimited. So this card is pretty awesome, and I'm glad we got back a Energy Acceleration. Next, we have Raikou, which really likes using that Magnezone. So Shining Body, if there's any Lightning Energy attached to this Pokemon, any damage on this Pokemon is reduced by 20. So that's a pretty cool ability to have. It makes it harder to knock Raikou out. Thunder Lance does 50 damage and then 20 more damage for lightning on this Pokemon. Obviously, it'll work well with Magnezone. So Magnezone Raikou could be a pretty cool deck in the future. We'll have to see. Now we get into the second EX, and that's going to be Mewtwo EX. Unfortunately, it's not that great. Damage exchange, switches the number of damage count on this Pokemon, your opponent's active Pokemon. That could be cool. I could see that being kind of funny. They put like 160 damage on you, or you have 150 on you. Then you remove all that damage and then put it onto their active. So that could be a funny attack. Blast Ball isn't that bad either. 30 damage for Psychic. Does 30 more damage for each Psychic on this Pokemon. Obviously, there's no Psychic Acceleration, but it could be cool. I don't think it's that good, though. However, this Mega Mewtwo, I think, is going to be great. So Psychic Infinity does 10 damage. This attack does 10 plus 30 more damage for each energy attached to each player's active Pokemon. So basically, it's X-Ball on steroids. So you're going to be doing 40 more damage for each energy on both Pokemon, and it runs on double colorless energy. So I expect this card to be a very good card. Maybe the return of Mewtwo Wars. I don't know. I mean, we have Lugia, and we have Yveltal. Now we got this Mega Mewtwo, so I definitely like this card a lot. I think it's going to be a great card. So I'm kind of happy to see that returning. Then we have a Misdreavus, Mismagius. And Mismagius has N, basically, in the ability. When you play it from your hand, you do the effect of N. Not that great of an ability. I don't know. It could see play. We've definitely seen crazier things happen, so who knows? It's not that great of a card, though, but we got Ralts, then we have Curlia, and then we have Cresselia. Cresselia has My Way. Okay, sorry. Okay, I just read that ability. First thing came to my mind was, baby, won't you come my way? Sorry, I did it. That's hilarious. If there's a stadium in play, this Pokemon's retreat cost is 0. Uh, Decent ability. It's not that great of an attacker though, but that ability name My Way, baby, won't you come my way? Got something I want to say. Sorry, that was just hilarious. I couldn't help myself. We actually have a pretty funny scan for Cubone. Impulsive tackle does 50. Flip a coin if tails. Attack does nothing. And go try to your mommy. That is hilarious. That's like a really awesome name. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that's a joke, but it is kind of funny. It's obviously a joke. Marowak is interesting. Snipe is not great of an attack. Bone Windmill could actually be the revival of Donphan because of Marowak Break. Since you can use Bone Windmill with strong energies, muscle band, you know the story. I could actually see Marowak being a pretty good deck for the future. Who knows? This could be a pretty decent deck. It might be the return of like a Donphan type deck, especially since Floatstone is getting reprinted in this set. So who knows? My way. We have Swinub, then we got Pillow-Swine. This is actually a pretty interesting card. Footprints of the Herd does 30 plus 30 more 10 more damage for each colorless energy, and there's 3 costs of Swinub, Pillow-Swine, and Mammoth-Swine in play. This could actually be a pretty fun deck to play. Not too competitive. It's probably gonna end up like that round Meloetta and Seismitoad. So we'll see what happens. That's actually a pretty funny attack. So who knows? Then we have Mammoth-Swine with 160 HP. Don't forget that this also works with strong energy. Thick Fat. Any damage on this Pokemon by attacks your Pokemon's R or water Pokemon is reduced by 30. So that's a pretty cool ability. Primeval Roar. Yeah, it's an alright attack. It does 120 damage if you have a stadium in play. Or if your opponent has a stadium in play and then heal 40 from it. It's okay, I guess. You can do 120 if you put the stadium in play. If it's your opponent's heal 40. Interesting. Who knows? With strong energy, it definitely has potential. Now we have Gallade. Now this card is actually pretty good. So it runs off of Maxie's Hidden Baldrick. It has 150 HP and it works with Maxie's Hidden Baldrick. Once you're in turn, before you attack, you may look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put them back on top of your deck in any order. So that's a pretty cool ability to have. It can help you out in some situations. Sensing Blade does 60 plus 70 more damage if you played a supporter card this turn. So yeah, this is going to be a great card to play for Maxie's Hidden Baldrick, or even just by itself it could work with strong energy, muscle band, fight theme, all that kind of stuff. So definitely a pretty cool card right there. Then we have Zorua. Not too special. Then we have Yveltal, Fright Knight. As long as Pokemon is active Pokemon, all Pokemon tools in play have no effect. It's going to be cool, I guess. I don't think that ability is too good. Jet Black Spear to 60, and then choose one of your opponent's bench EX Pokemon to 60 damage to it. So that's a pretty cool attack. I could see that being like a one of an Yveltal deck. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting. Then we have Bronzor, which is pretty funny. It does 10 damage. Your opponent only has 1 prize left. This attack does 70. It's pretty funny. And then we have Bronzong. Obviously not as good as the other Bronzong. Pain Amplifier. Put 3 damage counters in each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage on it. Knock away to 70. Flip a coin if heads. Attack does 90. Nothing too special there. Then we have Mr. Mime, which is the return of Plasma Freeze Mr. Mime. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks. I am so happy this card got reprinted. I don't think there's many spread decks in Standard, but it's still nice to have that ability back. Juggling, not too special, but it's nice to have Bench Barrier back. Next up, we got Aromatisse, which is pretty cool. Heavy Perfume. If your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, when your opponent's active Pokemon hits itself in confusion, put 6 damage counters on that Pokemon. So that could be cool with Hug, I guess. I don't really think it's that good, but it could be a little funny deck to try out. We'll see. Next, we have Axew. Nothing too special there. Then we have Doduo. And then we have Dodrio, which is very good, actually. Its attack retreat aid is the same thing as the one from Undaunted. So when this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is double colorless. So this gives Yveltal EX free retreat. It gives any Pokemon with 2 retreat costs or well, 2-to-1 retreat cost, free retreat cost, which is pretty awesome. So I really like Dodrio. I think this is a pretty good card. We got Starly, nothing too special, obviously. Call for Flock. Then we have Staravia. Then we have Staraptor. Whirlwind slash 70. Before doing damage, your opponent switches his or her active Pokemon with one of his or her bench Pokemon. That's alright. I don't know how good that'll be. Then ending off this, we have Heavy Ball reprint, which I don't know if this card is that great in this format. We'll have to find out. Heavy Ball is nice, so to have it back. We have Assault Vest, which is actually kind of cool. The Pokemon this card attacks you takes 40 less damage by your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy on it. So if your opponent's attacking you with a DC or Rainbow or whatever special energy they have on, they're going to do 40 less damage to you. So that's actually pretty good. That could be a decent tool card. Then we obviously got the 2 Spirit Links from Mewtwo and Houndoom. Then we have a new supporter card called Giovanni's Plans. When you play this card from your hand, choose one of the 2 following effects. Draw cards until you have 5, and then until the end of your turn, each of your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. I don't know how good that'll be. I think the second effect is definitely a lot better. So who knows? Giovanni's Plans could be a pretty cool card. I could see it working with stuff like Night March. So who knows? It's interesting. I like the second effect. And then we have Burning Energy. Now this card is actually kind of good. So if this card is discarded by an effect of an attack of the fire Pokemon it's attached to, reattach it to this Pokemon after discarding it. So basically, you can never really get rid of this. So this will work well with Mega Houndoom EX and Pyroar. So, and Charizard, Combustion Blast, Camerupt even. So, Burning Energy has a lot of potential to be nice for fire types. So who knows? Definitely could use it for fire decks. Now we have the shiny Pokemon of the set. This really annoys me. We have a new instead of getting a gold item card, we got a secret rare Mewtwo. Yeah. Instead of getting secret rare Floatstone, secret rare Level Ball, no, we got secret rare Mewtwo. And they're not even that good. I'm really kind of upset about this. I was really hoping for more shiny item cards. That's really annoying. Pokemon, please, in your XY9 set, please put shiny items. Don't put shiny EXs. Well, you can keep them, but give us shiny items, too. Please. I love shiny items. It's the best thing in the world. I'd prefer that over full arts any day of the week. Whoops. Here we go with the Blue Impact. We got Glalie. We got Zoroark Break. And then we got Florges Break. And then we got Floatstone reprint. We got Rainbow Energy reprint. And then we have a new supporter, a new stadium, which is cool. We got Full Arts. We got Full Art Mega Mewtwo. That looks sick. This is a sick artwork. I'll give them that. That is just badass. We got Mega Glalie, and then we got Glalie. And then we have the unfortunate secret rare of the set. So we'll start off with Pinsir. Overhead Toss. Because this Pinsir K-name does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. Yeah. What am I saying? Heavy Surplex is alright. Does 20 more damage for each colors in your Pokemon's retreat cost, and your actual Pokemon retreat cost. So, with stuff like Mach and that new stadium, Pinsir could see some play. Who knows? It's pretty interesting. We got Cacnea, and then we got Pansage, and we got Simisage, which is funny, is Fire Toss, but 3 fire from your discard pile in your hand. Hand Sling, same thing as the other ones. We got another Chespin in this set, which is okay, I guess. We got Scatterbug, then we got Spewa, and then we have Vivillon, which is pretty cool. So, its ability Energy Color. You can only use the ability once during your turn before you attack. Flip a coin of heads, search your deck for a basic energy card, and attach one of your Pokemon. I don't know how good that'll be, considering A, it's on a coin flip, and B, it's a stage 2. But it could be fun. I don't know how well it'll work, but we'll try it out, I guess. We'll see. Then we got Cyndaquil, Quilava, and then we got Typhlosion, which is awesome. Typhlosion is pretty cool. We got Massive Eruption, does 80 damage times. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 80 damage times the number of energy cards you discarded. So this could be a hilarious deck. Obviously not too good, but we'll see. Flare Destroy is okay. Does 130. Discard energy attached to this Pokemon. Discard energy attached to opponent's active Pokemon. Obviously with stuff like Blacksmith and Burning Energy, this could actually be a pretty cool card. I don't know how competitive, but it'll be cool at least. We got Remoraid. Then we have Octillery, which is awesome. This thing has a really good ability. Once during your turn before you attack, you may draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. So that is going to be a very awesome card to play. I am glad we got Octillery because it's a pretty good card. So yeah, Octillery, it's going to be a pretty good ability to have. It's stage 2. It's It's got a nice ability. It's just awesome. Next, we have the next EX, Glalie EX, Ice Breath. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is not paralyzed. Not too good, since it does no damage. Then we have Instant Cooling. It does 50 damage. If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, it does 100 more damage. So you can do 170, obviously, with the Muscle Band, if you have the same card. So obviously, stuff like Judge, which is getting reprinted, you know, leveling your hand out. And then you also have Battle Reporter, which this card could be pretty cool. And we have the Mega Evolution. Cryo Melt does 100 damage. If there are 10 or more damage counters on this Pokemon, this attack does 150 damage, or 150 more damage. So, yeah. That is nuts. That is pretty good. Mega Glalie, I think, is going to be a pretty good card. That's just a really good attack. Holy crap. You can do like 250 damage just for it having damage on it. Then we have Simipour. Like I said, same thing as before. We have Vanillite. Then we have Vanillish. And then we have Vanillux. So, this isn't that good. Shivering Press is alright. Just 30. Until the end of your next turn, neither player can play any support or stadium cards from their hands. Nothing too special. Just because it locks you from supporters and stadiums. But it's pretty cool. Then we got Deep Frozen. 70. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed. If tails, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So that's pretty funny. Maybe we can make a deck out of that. Obviously, nothing too competitive, but pretty cool. Then we have Magnemite, which is good because it has an ability. So this is definitely going to be the go-to Magnemite to play with that Magnezone. Then we have Ghastly. Then we have Haunter. Once your turn before you attack, when you place a card from your hand to evolve with your Pokemon, both active Pokemon are now confused. Yeah, not that good of an ability, since it confuses you, but it's okay. Then we have Gengar, which thank God we got another Gengar. It's got Ominous Fog. If your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned, place 1 damage counter on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Not too good. Then we have Creepshow. If your opponent's active Pokemon has at least 3 damage on it, that Pokemon is knocked out. So, yeah. Gengar bats, anybody? So, it's pretty cool. We got Mewtwo. This Mewtwo is god-awful. A DC, it does 30. During your opponent's next turn, any damage on this Pokemon is attacked by reduced by 30 damage. Terrible card. Psycho Burn is also a terrible attack. Just a terrible card in general. Die! Why do we have to get you in a shiny? Why couldn't we get a shiny item? That cheeses me. Then we got the next Mega Mewtwo. Not too good. Vanishing Strike does 150. If there's a stadium in play, it does 50 more damage. So I don't know how good that'll be, since you gotta pay a Psychic, Fighting, and a Colorless. Yeah, not too good, unfortunately. And then we have Woobat, and then we got Woobat, which is pretty cool. Wave Amplifier during next turn. Eco Return does 60 more damage, so you can basically, you can do 120. Flip a coin, tails, so that could be cool. It's kind of like a mini version of Mind Chow. Then we have Allegium, and then we have Behemoth. Brain Bullet. This attack does 20 damage times the number of energy attached to Pokemon. That's a pretty cool attack. That could definitely be a good counter to that new Mega Mewtwo. Psybeam, not too good of an attack. So it's an alrightish card. Borderline playable. Unplayable. Then we got Sandshrew, Sandslash. Nothing too good there, unfortunately. I really want to see a competitive Sandslash. That'd be cool. We got Meloetta, which is cool. A Self Spin. Attach 2 fine energies from your discard pile of these Pokemon, then switch it with one of your bench Pokemon. So that's a pretty cool card with Battle Compressor. And then this attack, primary, I can't spell that. It does 60. If there's any Psychic on it, it does 110 damage. So, I don't know. Not too good. Then we got Cacturn, which is a Dark type. Overturn does 30. Discard 1 special energy card attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's a decent attack. Pin Missile isn't that great. Then we got Zorua. And then we also got another Zoroark, which this card is a built-in Russian with Keldeo. That is awesome. Once your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon's on your bench, you may switch it with your active Pokemon. It may be a stage 1, but by God, is it awesome. It's going to be so good with Bronzong, because we also get Float Stone back in this set. So I'm so happy we got this. This is awesome. Mind Jack is also a pretty cool attack. Just 10 damage. Just 10 plus 30 more damage for each Pokemon on your opponent's bench. So this card is just awesome. Then we got Zoroark Break, which probably might be played with it. It gives it more HP. Choose one of your Pokemon attack. Use it as this attack. This could be pretty good. I don't know. Some potential going on there. Then we got Snubbull. And then we have Gramble, which is pretty cool. Thrash around for 3 energies is 120, and then it's confused. But with that Zoroark, this card I think could be decent as a fun deck. Flip a coin of heads, choose 3 cards from opponent's hand without looking, then look at them, choose. But basically a built-in Hooligan's Gym and Cast. But this card is kind of interesting. Then we got Flabébé, and then we got Floette, which Aroma Seslave. And then we have Florges. So the attack of each of your fairy Pokemon is one fairy less. So that's an alright ability. It could work well with the other Florges. It could work well with Xerneas EX, Xerneas. So who knows? It could be a cool tech card for fairy decks. Then we have Florges Break. So ability Flower Breeze. Once in your turn before you attack, you may heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon. Remove special condition from it. So that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe it could be some support. Obviously, that's like a stage 4 Pokemon, but I don't know. We'll see. Then we have another new Xerneas. For that much, for 3 energies, does Rainbow Force, 10 damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each type of your bench Pokemon. So that's a cool attack. I think that'll be a pretty fun deck to try out. Not too competitive, but it could be cool with Skyfield. Power Creation is alright. 4 energies, Pokemon recovered HP does 160 more damage, so it's alright. Then we have Axew, Fracture, and then we have this Haxorus, which is really cool. Dragon Dance. Each Haxorus attacks do 100 more damage. This effect continues until this Pokemon leaves play. Like, wow. Like, look at how good this attack is. Sharp Fang. Does 60 damage. And then with this, it does 160. Then for a double dragon, you can do 100. You can do 230 damage. So this card is pretty cool. Who knows? It could be playable. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. And then we got Doduo, another one. Hoot Hoot, which basically is a built-in Seismitoad, which is pretty funny. Well, not built-in, but it's got the Seismitoad tag. Then we have Noctowl. So this card is really good. It's basically the revival of Vilegar. If any of you guys remember that deck, Sky High. 20 damage times the amount of energy both players reveal hands. This is 20 times for items in both players' hands. So not just your hand or your opponent's hand. Both hands. So if you have a lot of items, your opponent has a lot of items, Sky High is going to do a lot of damage. Especially with item-heavy decks, I could actually see Noctowl being a pretty good card. But we'll see what happens. Then we have Teddy Ursa. Then we have Ursaring. Drag off. Just when your opponent's bench Pokemon, leave it. And have your opponent switch to 52. And then Brandish. You can do a total of 160, so not that great of a card. We have Smeargle. Once you're in turn before you attack, you may switch one basic energy card from... Wait, hold up. Once you're in turn before you attack, sorry, I effed up there. Once you're in turn before you attack, you may switch one basic energy card, touch one of your Pokemon, when you're a different type, basic energy from discard pile. Okay, that's a cool ability. I don't know how good that'll be, but that's cool, I guess. Maybe that's Xerneas. And that ends off the Pokemon. Then we have Floatstone reprint, which is amazing. Then we have the 2 Spirit Links, another Mewtwo Spirit Link, and then we have Bridget. Search your deck for up to 1 basic Pokemon, or up to 3 basic Pokemon, excluding Pokemon EX. So that's basically a reprint of Pokemon Collector. I don't know how good Fan Club will be now, which is kind of annoying, but Bridget is a pretty good card, and I'm kind of glad we got it. Parallel City is pretty funny, so it's got 2 effects. Top effect, text upside down. The player this side of the card is facing can only have up to 3 bench Pokemon, so that is great against Mega Rayquaza and Raichu decks. Bottom effect, the player this side of the card is facing. The player this side of the card is facing Fire, Water, and Grass Pokemon. Its attacks do 20 less damage. The top effect is pretty good, so this is a pretty cool stadium card to counter those Mega Rayquaza decks. Then we got a reprint of Rainbow, which is cool. And, yeah, that ends off that. And then we have the Raichu Noivern break sets. Pikachu, then we have Raichu. Thunder Judgment does 50 damage to each of your opponent's EX Pokemon. Whoops. So that's actually pretty cool. And then we have Raichu Break, which is alright. For that much, it does 170. So that's okay. That, I think, will work pretty well with Magnezone. So who knows? Maybe Raichu Break Magnezone could be a cool deck. Then we have Stunfisk, Revenge. If any of your Pokemon damage were knocked out, this attack does 100 damage, so this could actually be funny for Lightning and Colorless, so that could be played in Magnezone. So Stunfisk is pretty good. It could be a great way to counter those Mega Rayquaza decks. Like, you could play it in Mega Rayquaza to counter Mega Rayquaza. Then we have Friendly Rescue. Both players choose one Pokemon for discard pile and put it in your hand, not too good, I guess. It's alright. I think we're getting Super Rod reprint. Then we got Noivern. Tuning, shuffle your hand deck, drawing them cards in opponent's hand. Then we have Air Slash, not too good. And then we have Noivern Break. So, Cycno Swoofer does 70 damage if the number of cards in your opponent's hands, if the number of cards in your hand and your opponents are the same, so you have the same number of cards, it does 80 more damage. So that's pretty good. Who knows? It could be playable. We'll see. Then there's Chadot. Then we have Reserve Ticket. Whoops. Flip a coin if head. Search your deck for any card. Shuffle the rest of your deck. Yeah. And shuffle the rest of your deck. Oh, okay. I thought it was like the Life Stream Trump card. And also, Town Map, Judge, Fisherman, and Super Rod are also reprinted in this. So that is awesome. We're getting Super Rod back, Town Map back, Judge, and Fisherman back. So that's pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Bit of a long one, but I mean, that's to be expected. Unfortunately, no shiny item cards, which makes me salty. Really salty because I really wanted shiny item cards. But we can appreciate how cool these full arts look. So thank you guys for watching this video.